So good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, or happy Thursday, or happy Friday, depending on what part of the world you're on. For this video that I wanted to put out, it was going to be kind of a tribute video, as well as a thank you video to Akira Toriyama. If many of you don't know, he passed away last month, and not really going to get into details, as it was all over the internet for quite some time and still is. Lately, I've been using my spare time to go back and watch all of Dragon Ball as well as all of Dragon Ball Z. This was the first time that I actually started from episode 1 of Dragon Ball up to the final episode into Z. And now I'm at the Majin Buu arc. Rest in peace, Vegeta. One of the best moments ever. And I just wanted to take this time to, again, say thank you for one. Thank you for the lessons you left with us, as well as my talking point, the example. Now, I didn't do a lot of research, as this was more of a spur of the moment, a thought that I've been sitting on for quite a while. So I just wanted to get it out there instead of sitting on it any longer. And as I've been watching all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, and then hearing more and just seeing more videos about how Toriyama's work influenced everyone, it just had me thinking. First with, I believe it was David Goggins' example. Pretty much jump to the deep end here. Imagining that you're laying on your deathbed and around you are a whole bunch of yous that you could have been if you had actually did what you were on this earth to do, whatever that might be. In this case, I wanted to look at Akira. He put out a manga, Dragon Ball, and several others before that, where during an age where manga wasn't really accepted, at least here on the American side, you know, growing up, going on 29, well, 30 here. So when I was growing up, anime wasn't really a big thing. You know, I loved it, a lot of us loved it, and you were laughed at or shunned, whatever it might be, you know, for simply liking it. And the fact that he still put that work out and it evolved into what it was is what's been the biggest takeaway for me since his passing. And that takeaway has really been, what can be your contribution to the world? It won't be as impactful. Actually, it could. I'm gonna retake that statement. It can be impactful. I'm not gonna say even more, because it's not about comparison, even though I'm technically comparing it. But your gift to the world and how much of an impact that can actually create for everyone else. With Akira's work, it's inspired a lot of animators, a lot of mangakas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a lot of manga artists, a lot of animators, a lot of animations and anime and people working out and their clothing wear. He's influenced a lot of people. And you can do a simple Akira Toriyama search and you will see everything. So that really got me into the thought process of, what if he hadn't? You know? What if he had actually listened to himself and said, no, it's not going to be accepted. No, people are going to laugh. No, it's not going to this. No, that's not going to that. So on and so forth. We would not have Dragon Ball Z. If we did in an alternate universe by someone else, it would not be what it is today, at least from Akira's approach. And that was the biggest takeaway that I had since his passing, and just thinking about it. You know, you never really know how much your action can impact the world. I'm sure he didn't do it solely for the purpose of making money or wanting to be famous. I'm sure he never imagined that it would blow up as much as it nearly did. But the fact of the matter is that it did. And the supporting fact is a fact that he actually went through with it and pushed through it throughout all these years, throughout all his lifetime and all his other work as well. So the biggest thing I wanted to present to people, or at least give you a new perspective to think of, or just something to chew on for a bit, is if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z and you're not where you want to be, remind yourself that Akira took the step to put his work out there and it paid off the way that it did. Again, don't expect that it will have the same weight, but I want you to carry that perspective of, I too can put something out there, and I don't know what could happen from it or how it can impact others if that's your goal, or how it can impact you and your family and those around you. With Dragon Ball Z, it's impacted generations, the world, and the list just goes on and on. So I'm thinking, what would have happened if he hadn't put that, put it out? Would Naruto be a thing? Would Bleach be a thing? Would Hunter x Hunter be a thing? And I can imagine some people going in the comments saying, oh, you don't really know the technicalities and da-da-da. Sue me. Don't sue me, because I need my money. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to give you guys a thought of to chew on for a little while. If you got dreams, don't let it go to the wayside. Even if you're not gonna have a lot of supporters, even if it's not gonna make you the richest person in the world, but if you have a dream that you actually want to put something out there just for the sake of it, then do it. You don't know how it's gonna impact others. You don't know how it's gonna impact yourself. But what you will have is that conscious thought of, I did it, I put it out, and that's all there is to it. Kind of like with me putting these videos out. I'm doing it for the sake and really for the reason behind it of hoping to give someone else a perspective, just a different perspective on life. Because that single perspective can be the key to what you need, whether to completely change your life or to get the ball rolling. So on one hand, you might be thinking, that the concept of, again, we're going to the deep end here, you will die one day, right? That's a perspective. How much it costs to get the life that you want, that's the perspective. How much work is it going to take to get that? That's a perspective. What someone else is struggling with, that's a perspective. Why someone likes another color, or why they like the video game they like, or why they like the anime they like, that's another perspective. A perspective that you might not have had, that kept you from having that sense of empathy, or at least a sense of understanding of someone else, or even an understanding of even yourself. When you're giving yourself a new perspective, you are able to approach things differently. So that's what the goal of this video was. Not necessarily just a thank you, Akira, for what you've done. I got the Dragon Ball painting over there, Super Saiyan 4, Ultra Instinct, the list goes on. Vegito, got the Goku figurine, as well as Majin Vegeta, Gohan, and I wouldn't really say entertaining. It's just amazing to think that one man's work and, team of others as well, how much of an impact that has made on other people's lives. And you do not know how much of an impact you can make, at the very least, on your own life, and several others if you just get out and put the work out. If Akira had never done that, we would have never had Dragon Ball Z, as I said before, or maybe an alternate universe of Dragon Ball Z, like Ball Dragon Z. I don't know. So yeah, at this point, it's just more of a ramble. And check my watch here to just keep up with time here, and just leave you guys with that to chew on for a while. To summarize, one, thank you, Akira, for your work. I really do hope you're resting up there very, very well. You've put in a lot of work, you've lived your life, and you left a lot of influence and impressions on a lot of young adults, even up to adults. And to my viewers out there, if you were a fan of his work, or just respected or admired or knew of his work and the influence that it had on the world, take that as a perspective of, you never know what can happen until you actually do it. So chew on that for a little while. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. Again, depending on what part of the world you're in, it's probably already Friday. And then after that, the weekend. So enjoy your Thursday or Friday, as well as your weekend. And take care.